listening to Jai Long, and this is Make Your Break. Whether you're a big-hearted creative or an aspiring entrepreneur, let's take action on your dreams, reconnecting you with your why and giving you the how. I'm here to dish out actionable mindset tips and fun industry secrets to help you blow up your biz. From eye-opening reality checks to motivational gold, no two episodes are ever the same. So tune in weekly, skip the FOMO, and let's dive into the deep together. You know, sometimes I'll do a mentoring session or a coaching session with someone and I think it's so profound but so simple and I know it's going to impact that person. And then I think, you know what, I should probably release it to the world so it can impact someone else. Now, we're all at a different level in our business, but a lot of the times, and we're all in different niches as well, but a lot of the times these things translate across the board to so many different things. So I jumped on with one of my sailors from the Six Figure Business Map. Her name's Eilish, and we did a coaching call. She is doing incredible work. She's incredibly ambitious. Like, she has that spark in her eye where she's making things happen. I looked over her website and she's following my framework to a T. She's doing all the right things. And I love that she shows up in my community all the time. And because of that reason, I wanted to show up for her. Jumped on a coaching call. I think some of the things that we talked about today was really simple, but I think it might be profound to some people out there in the world. So I thought, you know what, let's share it because this might work for you. So we talk about marketing and how we can make big impact without the overwhelm in our business and get more leads. Also how to follow our strategies and just being consistent with what we are putting out to the world and so many more things, right? But she is definitely taking things to another level. She's just starting out in her career. And I actually think you're going to be super inspired by Eilish. If you do want to find her Instagram account is just below. You can click on that, send her a DM, give her some love, give her some support. I'm sure she'll really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening to this show. Don't forget, I'd love to get a review from you on this show. You can just leave a review, click the link below in the captions, and you go into the run-in to win a free mentoring session with me this month. So if that sounds like something you want and you want me to look at your business and actually have a one-on-one with you and talk with you, then please leave that review. It helps this podcast get out to the world and, you know, we can impact more people and everything else. And if you've left a review before, it doesn't matter. Just leave another one. That's totally fine. It's all worth it. So let's get into today's show.
Oh, it's the typical story. Like, I've always loved photography ever since I was 12, and it's the only thing that I've ever wanted to do in my whole life. So I've hustled to make it work. I went through a bit of a scare when I was 20. I was diagnosed with cancer and I had a horrific experience, but that really pushed me to live my life as I want to. So that brings me to here, and it's been an incredible...
Wow. Is that the photo of you on social media?
Oh, yeah, with my big fat bald head.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Got to do a lot of work for Canteen, which is our cancer society here in New Zealand. So because of that, so that was cool. But yeah, so that's pushed me to be where I am today and live my life as I want. And I've been doing this since 5 years now. It's basically full-time, but I also did nannying part-time as like a reliable income to pay the rent and stuff. But as of February, I'm letting go of nannying, which I'm real excited about because I know it's a step I need to make.
Scared.
Yeah, and scared at the same time. So I guess my questions for you were just like, what were some things that you wish you knew when you went into full-time, and all those sort of golden nuggets I'm going to need. It's a bit scary, but I know I can do it because I'm so determined. So, yeah.
Awesome. How do you feel about your business right now? Are you you're booking enough work? You feel like you're charging enough? You feel like getting good quality clients in?
Yeah.
Proud of the work you're creating?
Yeah, I'm absolutely proud of what I create, and I am in love with what I capture, which is cool. So I've got no qualms with that side of it. There's always room for improvement for sure. But I guess, yeah, and I'm very busy in terms of how many clients I'm having come in and things like that. But I need to have my prices increase and things like that too, achieve the goals that I need to as well.
Yep.
So, yeah. And
Exciting.
yeah, that's why it's been amazing being under your wing, because I've just always been like, holy fuck, like, I just want to have a little man on my shoulder telling me what's right or wrong. So I guess
I'm good at doing that. Yeah.
So it's been good. But so I'm super busy, and I have been for 5 years. It's been awesome. But with my weddings, I need to be reaching a quota of like 35 when I'm only reaching 14. So, and that's purely through word of mouth. And that's because my SEO sucks dog shit. So I've been paying money to level up with my SEO. So I'm found on Google as well, not just Instagram and things. So yeah, that's currently where I'm at.
Fantastic. I've got to say, just looking through your website, I can tell that you really did follow the course, because it's really good. And it's got, like, straight away when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this has got literally everything. And it's like, yeah, just everything, the way it's all spelt out, the information you put in there, the call to action, it's done so well. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Funny enough, it can be rare to see. So well done.
Oh, thank you so much. No, I worked tirelessly and like watched and listened to everything that you supplied. I was just like soaking it in as much as I could. But the thing with that is I bought your wife's website template, and I've currently got a web developer working on that. So I am going to be having a whole new website come February. Yeah, and then that way, because like this website's been done, I did it 5 years ago, but it's obviously been remodeled majorly. So all the back end sort of crap is just all like done so amateur as. So having the web developer do it properly the first time around with Lilu's website template is going to be cool. But I will be sad to leave this because it was my baby for so long.
Totally. I remember when I sort of changed it from my very first website to, which I had for a long time, to my new one. But it feels so good to have a new website because it makes you proud of what you're creating again. And like, it feels like it does like sort of represent a milestone of you and your business and sort of hitting another level of professionalism and getting through your career as well. So I think it feels nice to have a new website.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, I hope you're following the same structures as this website because it is really good. Just with like the way that you're writing and everything like that.
Oh,
it's really behind me. Yeah, cool. And so right now, like the biggest blocks in your business, where are they?
The biggest blocks would have to be my Google traffic. That's literally at 0%. But with the help of it now, it's increased. So I'm getting a few more inquiries through it now, but it needs to be a lot better running than it is if I want to reach the goals that I have in mind. So yeah, Google, SEO, all that sort of thing is probably my biggest downfall, and could be doing a lot better, and making effort to be featured as well. So I put in no effort for that for 5 years, and I kick myself every time. So I'm like annoyed about it now. So I didn't know the value of backlinks. I didn't know anything like that until being with you guys. Yeah, so just doing that now, and it was awesome to be accepted on Monday for Together Journal. That's incredible. And then just yesterday I got New Zealand Canon wanting to feature me on their Instagram, which is also awesome too. So I'm slowly getting there, and I'm already like reaching a few goals, and it's only the start of the year. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Who's helping you write all your blog posts? Are you doing that yourself?
Oh my God, don't read those. The latest
do it yourself?
Yeah. So the latest ones are they're all me, but the latest ones are since watching everything that you supply, but I've looked in the Pepperstorm or something like that because, they're not a strong point, and they take me way too long as well to do, and it's kind of takes time away from other things that I feel.
Yeah. Oh, totally. You've done a great job. I really, really like them. Yeah. I can definitely help you, like give you some tips for sure on like how we can like write some good blog posts if SEO is like something that's important to you. Where to start is, so just like your mindset, you asked me, what did I know, or what did I wish I knew when I first quit my job and went all in? Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of interesting because the way I did it was the right way, in my opinion. I didn't know it back then, but I'm glad that I kind of went with my gut. And basically my gut said like, I wasn't ready, but I'll never be ready because so many things came up when I quit my job. So one thing was like my car registration just ran out. I needed new tires for my car. Then I needed new windscreen because it just got cracked. Then I needed to pay insurance. And so for like 3 weeks, I didn't quit because I'm like, yeah, but there's one more thing. And then I realized there's always one more thing, and that's just life.
Yeah.
So when I quit, I was like absolutely not ready, especially financially. But I knew that if I didn't take the leap, then I wouldn't be serious about it. And it does change something in your mindset when you dive straight in. Now, one thing like, Leela is actually, so the next step on that, and Leela really use this to her advantage, but she went all in on her business. But then when she started getting comfortable, wanted to take it to another level, what she did, she hired people that she couldn't afford, and then done the same thing again because now people relied on her, and then she was able to like hustle. And your business will always expand to what it needs to expand to, like it always does. And so it's kind of like a fish grows to the environment, right? So if you've got this tiny little bowl, it's not going to grow very big, but the bigger the environment is for you, the bigger your goals are, the more that people are relying on you, the more that you rely on yourself and its own one income, you show up differently. And I think that's really important to know just from mindset perspective, because a lot of the times you don't know how it's going to work out, but trust me, it does work out because you start having different conversations, meeting different people, even just when you're putting on social media, the wording that you put out to the world, like it's more, when you're backed into a corner and you have to make it work, you will make it work. And I think that's just sort of like a beautiful place to be that you would never experience if you've got a backup plan or if you've got like a second job or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, the people that I've worked with that get the biggest success the fastest are always the ones that pull off the Band-Aid the fastest and quit their job, and then they go all in, and then they're in a position where they have to fight for it, and they always get successful fast because they've got no other option. So I think you're making the right move.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. You do become quite complacent when you know you've got a reliable 500 coming in a week. And that's what I want to get rid of. I want to stop being complacent and knowing that, I've got a backup, that's fine. I want to stop that. So yeah, I am excited. But then you get mum and dad who get worried and they're like, are you sure you should be doing it?
You want everyone to be worried. Like you got big goals and it like disrupts everything, I think it's exciting. Like you're moving into an exciting life. And yes, people are going to be worried. People won't believe in you. People will say no. But it's all part of the process, and I think it's really fun and important for your development as well, because as you overcome so many of these challenges, you become a stronger entrepreneur. And then what you don't know yet is the things that you're doing now are building you into a stronger entrepreneur that's going to handle bigger problems later on. Yeah, because problems never disappear. They just get bigger and bigger and bigger, So right now, your problem is that you'll lose $100 a week, but after a while, your problem will be you don't have enough time in the week to fulfill all the orders, or you need to hire more people. You got to do something else. So as we go through our career, we get bigger problems, and we want big problems. We don't want little problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like the sound of those other problems that you listed.
Yeah, like a little shit problem is like, I don't know where to get my next lead. Like that's I don't know what to post on Instagram. Like that's a tiny little shit problem that you don't want. You want the big ones where you're like, I've got too much work.
Yeah.
There's too many DMs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Yeah. That is the goal. That'd be awesome. I was just going to say, I just want to be in a place where I'm able to say to people, hey guys, I'm actually booked out for 2024. I'm sorry. I want to be at that place where I'm sought after and people are like, hounding me and like hunting me down. That's where I want to be. And
you get there. You just have to relentlessly keep showing up and shining a light. That's the thing. Like you literally, to get into that position, you have to be in a space where people can't not take notice. And like when I was in the high of my career, like I was on everyone's Instagram account. I was featured everywhere. I was in every magazine. I was recommended by every venue. Like I was actually omnipresent. So everyone that got in touch with me, like, Jai, like you seem to be everywhere. Everyone's talking about you. Like I just see it, And so it's because I just got to work, so I wasn't trying to do that, but I was just like, this needs to be featured. This needs to be, I need a blog post over here. I need to rank on Google for this. And I just got to work regardless if I was getting paid or not. And then of course the money followed me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's all about putting in the hard yards like that, because that's what I figured out at the start of my career is I was very sought after then. And then that's how like, because I reached out to influencers in Auckland and I was photographing influencers. So that's how I got my name started with that sort of networking. And then I became quite complacent because the work was regular. And then that's when I stopped making as much effort. And then it just like, it's been smooth sailing, but I need to, so now I need to level up majorly. So that's what I'm trying to do, which is exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. So to get yourself some more clients, you said word of mouth has been the strongest way, and you've got 14 people per year just doing that. So one of the most important things to do is never to reinvent the wheel of what's working. And so many of us do. So we go like, oh, I've got 14 people that recommend me, but what I'm going to do is put all my time into Google Ads or something else. And then we take our attention away from what's actually working. And then we put it into something else and then we get frustrated because we don't know how it works, or it takes a long time to write a blog post or something. So it is important to diversify your marketing for sure. But the first thing that I always do is double down on the thing that works. So for example, if you are right now getting word of mouth, it could be from clients, could be from vendors, could be from other photographers, like could be from friends, family, inner circle. Like there's a lot of people that talk, right? Could be a hairdresser, could be makeup artist. Like I booked a whole year's worth of work from one makeup artist because, we just connected. And, I went and created some content for her and she was like, well known, So with that in mind, what I start doing is like, okay, well, what I need to do is I know I could double my bookings just from word of mouth if I doubled down on it, because I'm probably not really taking it that serious yet. But something that I could do personally is I'm going to make a recommended vendor list and I'm going to recommend and expand my inner circle of vendors. So what I will do is I will reach out to people, florists, makeup artists, gown designers, venues, and I'll say, hey, I would love to work with you more so. And I've added a page on my website that's called Friends. And that way, like we can start working together. Now you do that, and then you can do blog posts that link to that as well. So I'll say, I've written a blog post about this venue or something like that. And then that way they will want to share it as well. They will share that blog post, but also they're like, oh, I'm going to add you to my recommended vendor list. And you're now creating connections by giving instead of taking to the best vendors that you want to work with. So that's a great little in. And the more that you show up and give to them, of course, the better. So if you are going to a venue and taking photos, all of them, even if you're just scouting and you took some photos of the venue and then you literally went back and emailed them the photos. I'd like to photos for you this weekend. Let's know if you want to use them on social media, just credit me. That way you'll end up on their website, you'll end up on their social media. You can use it for blog posts and things like that, especially if you're doing like 5 best venues around this area or whatever it is. Now you get some photos of those venues. And you're also just getting out there and expanding your network. So when I first quit my job, I knew that network was going to equal my net worth because it's who I knew, not who. It's also who knew me, because if no one knows me, no one's going to do work with me. Mm-hmm. So I literally went around every single day and I'd work out one more person, who do I need to meet? One more DM I needed to send, one more handshake, one more coffee to grab with someone. And I met, of course, if you meet with 10 people, 9 of them may be a waste of time, but one person will be like, hey, I would love to work with you. I want to add you onto my recommended vendor list. And you go, that's the volume that I was looking for. So if you show up like that, you will get a lot more work than anything else. And so the reason why I say that, you do that first because it gets you the quick wins. It's going to get you the big network and it's going to get you a lot of bookings. And then from there, you can relax a little bit with that and you can start concentrating on blog posts and SEO and stuff and then work just solely on that. And then cross over to like maybe Pinterest or something and work on that. And that way you're starting to stack your marketing. And so one thing that I've been teaching for years is my strategy of a lead a day. So it's really important for me to get, and I track this, but I get 1 lead per day from a different source. Let's say 5 leads per week, but one's from word of mouth, one's from Instagram, one's from the SEO, one could be from a vendor recommendation list, like one could be from a Facebook ad. And so that way, like I don't need to get one from each, but I hyper concentrate on just one thing. So the next thing, SEO, then the next thing, until I get 1 lead a week. And that way, if Instagram dies or if something happens, I'm not stressed because my business is not built on a house of cards. Like I've been able to expand out and really build those foundations.
Yeah. Yeah. Taking one step at a time and not overcrowding your mind, eh?
Yeah. And because, most people, what we do is we try and do everything at the same time because someone else has done it and they got success and we don't know what we're doing. Then we get overwhelmed, overworked, underpaid, and we don't get results from it. And then we feel like it doesn't work. But if you just keep doing the one thing until it works, then move on, then you will get, that's how a higher achiever makes big impact.
Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's one thing I've learned about myself is I'm impatient and I want to do all the things at the same time and like achieve that. I think, yeah, I just want to get there and I'm so excited to get there. So I want to try all the things and do all the things. I need to not do that.
Well, it's funny because it's how entrepreneurs work, but it's also the biggest mistake that we make as entrepreneurs. And it's also the reason why you have a coach like myself, because I've done that problem and I know the way that it doesn't work. And so that's why you get someone that's in front of you to go like, actually, this is the way to do it. You have so much time in front of you and you just need to take little steps every single day. And if you just did that on blocks of different tasks and different marketing strategies, you will end up walking so far ahead of everybody else and you won't even do it with stress, So it's really interesting, but now that's the method that I use and I'm able to get big success in that because I no longer try to do everything. I'm like, where's my genius zone? What's worked before? Doubling down on it. And then once that's a well-oiled machine, let's move to the next thing and then do the same.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. And it's nice to hear you say it too, because the goal for this year was Google, and I was set a task for myself to write a blog each week as well. So
awesome.
I'm on the task to do that this Sunday. But and that's the thing with word of mouth. I've been reaching out to the vendors that I know and love around my area and have compiled a blog for that, but it needs to be altered because my web developer said it's not like entirely, you need to because I added phone, they like to have websites, and blogs, not anything else really. So I need it, anyway, but need to adjust that, but it's all learning. And so I've started that part of it as well, like contacting vendors and things. And because that's
awesome.
That's the one thing I regret not being good at was I was more than happy for vendors to use my photographs, but I never made an effort to do it after each wedding and purposely send them their gallery.
Most people don't, but it's such a shame to create all that content and not share it with all the people, all the other creators. So often we think that we need to be charging other creators and such a scarcity mindset. It's like everyone created that image. There's flowers in it, there's this, there's that, and everyone created it. So if you actually just opened up and force your images into their feed and onto their website and everywhere, you're going to get so many backlinks, you're going to get so many more referrals, so much good karma and everything else, and your business will flourish.
Yeah, that's what I thought because I'm part of this wedding photography Facebook page, and they're like, how much do you charge vendors your photos? And $35 or whatever it is. And I'm just like, that's a shame because
I know it's not worth $35, is it? What a waste.
They've helped you just as much as you're helping them, because they've helped make your photograph look amazing, and it's going to pay back anyway because they're going to share it, and then it's going to all their people. So that's why I'm kicking myself as well, because not putting effort in sharing, making an effort doing that. I was more than happy for them to have them, but I didn't make more of an effort to push it onto them. Use my photos, go to it. So
there's no better way to make a relationship than when you literally walk, because I've done this from the day one, but walk onto a wedding or wherever that you work and literally go hey, so do you need some photos or something? I can actually probably sneak a couple of photos in today while I'm doing something, or I'm going to send you these, I'm going to send to the gallery. What do you need? I'm going to take a photo of you, what I'm here. And I always do that. You can even literally, and I've done this before, is I've actually hired another photographer to come, it only cost me $200, but they went to the setup of the wedding before I was even there because I was at the ceremony. So they're there doing all the styling, and then you sort of see the stylist, the band to be setting up, the florist, the cake maker setting up, everything. And I've sent someone there for $200 just to take photos behind the scenes of all the vendors there in the beautiful space actually working. And then at the end of it, I sent those photos over to them and then they used them for everything and they link me everywhere. And I'm like, instead of me trying to dollar and dime with $35, I actually spent money to advertise them. And they're so thankful. You can imagine how much work I booked from that one wedding. But I spent $200.
Right, certainly.
Way better than Facebook ads and Google ads.
Yeah, you can definitely be in anyone's good books doing that. So I definitely see the value in doing
exactly. And I'm such a control freak that I'm so my podcast, everything's called Make Your Break, but I don't wait for those opportunities. Like I make them happen. Like, do you need a photographer? I'll bring one out. No, I'm not even going to charge you, I'll say that to the florist. Are you serious? Yeah, because I'll use it for a blog post. I'll use those photos. I'm going to feature you. I'll send you over an interview. And then so they can't believe it. And the next minute I'm getting 5 inquiries. Like, Amy from Raven and the Rose, just absolutely recommending you, John. It's amazing to see that. Like, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many things, little things that help substantially that I wasn't doing. And I'm sad that I wasn't doing it any earlier, but I'm glad I know now because it's going to help me, I think, massively, which is exciting.
Okay, so what I was going to say is sort of just changing gears and talking about SEO. I'd love to give you a few tips about blog posts because you can do them really well, and you can use my 3D content strategy when it comes to blog posts. Okay. I'm going to show you how to actually come up with a good idea with blog posts and how you can write them out much quicker and things you can do. So basically what you want to do is a blog post is good, but you can supercharge it with 3D content, but then you can absolutely supercharge it by always featuring someone as well. So if you're always featuring someone, so say for instance, at the end of this year, you said you're going to do a blog post per week. I would say do one per week for the whole year. So you're going to have 50 blog posts. So if you did that, you're going to have so much content, you're going to dominate SEO and you're going to have so many connections because here's one rule that you have to do. Every blog post must feature one vendor, right? So if you have that as a rule, it means if you're just writing something about, so are you North Island, New Zealand? So if you, for instance, if you're writing a blog post about a florist or something, or something to do with a wedding, you can literally drop in and go hey, so also if you are getting married in the north of New Zealand, you should also really think about the time of year and what kind of flowers that you use that's more sustainable or something. I actually talked to one of the best florists in the area and she gave us a little advice and some tips here, check this out. And then you could have her in there or him or whoever, and then go check out their website and everything. And then here's the email address and, you can get in touch and have a photo of that florist as well. That way you get them to help you create content, but then all of a sudden you've featured someone, you've linked them to your blog, and then they're going to share it as well because once it's finished, you can get them to share it on their social media and with their community and everything else. And then that's one blog post, and then you can do it again and again and again. So with different people all the time. And it means now you're doing networking, but for a reason, because you're becoming the media.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's awesome. And so I guess from each wedding I do this year, I could just select a vendor from each of those that I really love. Definitely. And somehow make them work into the blog that I'm creating.
Yeah, 100%. And so there's so many people that you're working with, and it becomes fun because you can say, who am I featuring next? And then people want to be featured on your blog. And it becomes it's called viral content because there's a reason why another business would share it now. And you are giving, not taking. You're not asking them to share it or do anything else. You're literally saying, here's a link. I just featured you, and then of course they're going to share it. So you're always going to give, you never take, because the second that you try and take, can you feature me? Can you do this? It just never works. No one wants to know about it. So I think that's really important. Okay, so with the 3D marketing content though, with your blog post, which you haven't done, what I want you to do is you can create a really good tile, for instance, to pin into Pinterest. So that way, now it's going to be found on SEO for sure. But when you get on there and you create a tile, and let's just say it says best florist in the North Island of New Zealand, and then you have that written across the tile, and you can do that in Canva, then pin that into Pinterest and then call it the same thing in the title. So if someone's in Pinterest using that as a search engine, as they do, your thing's going to pop up there as well. So now you've got 2 forms of traffic coming in. You actually got 3 forms because the other vendor probably shared your blog post as well. So now you got 3 forms of traffic coming in. Oh. And another thing that you can do, which I think is one of the most powerful ways that you could actually blow up your business just on this one strategy, but you could literally open up Canva, turn the blog post into a video by you can make a slideshow with some text on it if you wanted to, or you can sit there and you can actually sit there and use something like Loom and read through your blog post. It makes it more accessible as well, which Google really loves accessibility because not everybody can see and things like that and read. So that's a great way. You can even get a robot to read it for you. You can just have a slideshow of just the main points. But what you do is you upload that to YouTube, call it the same thing, then embed it into your blog post. Now your blog post has a video in it as well. And then YouTube is owned by Google. And so guess what? When they type in best florist in the North Island of New Zealand, YouTube's going to go, oh, we've also got a video that's called that. So they're going to put that up probably above your blog post. And then your blog post also has a video saying the same thing. And it's also ranking in Pinterest. So Google knows now that this is a good piece of content. We need to share this.
And with the video, because that was one thing I was struggling with, was once I did the blog post, I would screen record and just scroll through it and put that on my story. So instead, do that through Canva, make it a lot more.
Yeah, you can just animate some text in. It's really easy. You can use a platform. There's an app called Loom, which is Loom, where you can literally screen record and it shows a little picture of you in the corner. And then you could be like, hey guys, I've got a blog post out. If you're looking for a florist, this is where it's at, number 1. And you could like literally read it out, just you reading the thing out. Then you can upload that to Canva and you can have a screen that comes in that says number 1 over the top and it looks nice. And that's all it needs to be. And then you literally just put it onto YouTube, because if I type in YouTube now like that, I bet you there's nothing. So it means you'll dominate on YouTube now. You're getting leads in on Google, definitely on Pinterest, and the other people that are sharing it, so you've got like lots of forms of traffic coming in.
That's way cooler. Oh my gosh. Okay. And
you're doing all that from just making one piece of content. That's why it's called 3D, because there's so many sides to it,
Oh, that's so cool. So with the YouTube, with that Loom video and uploading that to YouTube, will it just be of that screen recording of me being like, hey, this is my blog, blah, blah, blah. And then it will just have in the description below.
And here's the blog post. Yep, absolutely. That way they'll find it. Like if I type in something in Google, like if I typed in, say, Wedding Photography Summit, that's my summit. And I click on that and I have a look. And always the first thing that Google wants to show you is a video, because like people love videos. So it will show a couple of videos, then it'll go like, oh, number 1 ranking site, this one. And here's a blog post about it. And it kind of breaks up so it doesn't just give you the same information. So that's why it's important that you do have like illustrations, graphs, like in a blog post, audio, video, graphics from Canva, photos, stuff like that. So that way, that one piece of content, there's lots of ways for people to consume it, because people are different. And then Google loves that and will reward you by going like, well, everyone else just wrote a big block of text, but this person's actually went to the trouble of like adding in a video and Pinterest tile and everything else.
Okay, that's cool. And then, with the blog itself, would that be about just would the blog just be about like I'm going to
give you a way to write your blog post from now. So here's something that's like very brand new, but we're going to use a little bit of AI. So if I go to jasper.ai and I go into templates, so on here, I can go through and I can actually brainstorm in here, like my blog post outline, blog post topic ideas. So let's have a look at this. So things I want to write about is say like wedding photography, audience, engaged couples, fun, and then generate. So we can do this now. And then here we go. How hiring me as your wedding photographer will weave a tale of romance. Why you should hire a wedding photographer here. Wedding capturing a big day is the most magical place. So you can sort of start doing this. I wouldn't recommend any of these because it's not exactly what you're doing. But if you say something like, for instance, 5 wedding venues in your town in New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
So go generate now. So it will tell you things that you can do. So a guide to the top 5 fun wedding venues so we'll say I do in Wakatown, New Zealand, a guide to the top fun wedding venues. So it's telling you right now, here's a whole bunch of things that you could use. So that's the name of your blog post. And then from there, you can go through, you could use Jasper to write the whole thing. So you can say intro paragraph, the outline, and then you can just sort of change it up a little bit and then embed it straight into your website.
Oh, that's insane. I love Jasper. Oh my God, I wish I knew about him. That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
So it's going to be a great way for you to sort of just make all this way faster, supercharge your business. There's so much that you can do right now, so much upside. But if you do all this stuff, you're going to have a 6-figure business in 12 months. There's no doubt about that. Like this is just, You just need to keep on the train. Don't get distracted by shiny objects. Like that's the most important thing because it's the biggest mistake everyone makes. Like, oh, what about Google Ads? What about this? What about that? Like just stay on the thing that's working, keep doubling down on it, and then keep to the task of doing one blog post per week that's supercharged with featuring somebody, but also 3D content. And if you can do that, and Jasper can help you make it way easier, and so can Canva, so it doesn't take you all day to write one, of course. But you just need to keep doing that over and over and over and over, and you're going to have massive success.
Okay, that's amazing, and that's good to know. Thank you so much for all the pointers. It was a bit overwhelming because I was like, oh my God, like I don't mind writing, but I was just like, holy shit, what the hell?
Yeah. And 2023, like it's going to be your year. You're going to quit your job and you're in the business map and everything's going to happen. So I'm really excited to watch the growth. Keep up that big energy because you need it as an entrepreneur. You need to sort of keep showing up. And I don't think it's that hard. It is repetition. Like to become a successful entrepreneur, it's repetition. So, so often we'll do one blog post or do 2 blog posts. And I mentor people and they go like, I've literally done everything. I wrote 3 blog posts last year. And I'm like, it's just not enough. Like it's all about volume and continually showing up. If I had three episodes of my podcast and I said I did everything and I'm not getting any listens, it's because, you have to keep showing up. That's just the way it is, Yeah. So if it was 3 episodes of Seinfeld, they wouldn't be successful. So yeah, it takes time. And I just want to encourage you to keep showing up.
Yeah. Thank you. I pride myself on being a persistent little bitch. So I'll definitely be doing good blogs every week.
So exciting.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. And thank you so much for those words of wisdom. And I'll be getting Jasper on board. I'll be hiring him.
Absolutely. New best friend for work. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. You've answered my prayers. So that's amazing because that was like taking me way too long. I was like, holy shit, this is intense, but that's going to be awesome and all going to be worth it in the end. So that's very exciting.
Sweet. Thank you so much for jumping on a call with me. I really appreciate you being in the business map. It's so fun watching you grow and all the excitement and energy that you're bringing, the community and everything else. But I appreciate you.
No, awesome. Thank you. And I appreciate all your hard work. It's insane. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Hey, Make Your Breakers. Want to streamline your audible dose of inspiration, motivation, and creative biz insights with a custom playlist made just for you? Was that a yes, please? Kicking our arses into gear, sifting through all of Make Your Breaks episodes to date. Yep, we're talking all 200 plus episodes. We've meticulously curated some banging playlists just for you. We want to help you to make that break ASAP. So whether you're a newbie or have listened to every episode a million times, jump into the show notes and check out the little something we whipped up to generate your very own custom playlist.